Hey, welcome. I'm Rory, and this is RoriTravels Florida. I'm out here today in Celebration, Florida, the cute little town that Disney built, and I've got Doug Parker with me. Doug is from Cruise Radio. He's also a DJ on-air personality out of Jacksonville, so if you're up in Jacksonville, look for Doug. But Doug is the brains behind and the voice behind Cruise Radio. Doug, why don't you tell me a little bit about how Cruise Radio got started?
Well, thank you so much for the introduction, actually. Yes, I am the mastermind behind Cruise Radio. Basically, I was on a cruise ship about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and I thought there has to be a way to marry my passion and my experience together somewhat to make a lucrative and fun life. So I figured, I like cruising. I've spent 10 years in radio. Let's do Cruise Radio. And so the next week, actually, I had my first episode, and here we are, episode 53 right now. And we've taken it from 16 people listened the very first week until last week, just over 41,000 people have tuned in online. So
that's amazing. In just a year.
Just a year,
That's amazing. Doug has been doing Cruise Radio for a year, as he said, and I personally have not taken a cruise, but I know that Doug talks to people who are novices like me, who've never even been, but also people who've been on hundreds of cruises. So what all the topics, if somebody was tuning into Cruise Radio, what topics would you cover?
Oh, well, a lot. We have weekly commentary from Stuart Sheeran, the cruise guy, who's a guy who's been on ABC, Good Morning America, CNN, does weekly appearances, NBC, all over the map. Chris Elliott he's our consumer advocate, talks about travel advice and the do's and don'ts and good customer service whenever you're wanting to travel. Also just normal folks that take cruises and want to talk about their experience and basically their unbiased opinion of the cruise line.
Okay. Now, Cruise Radio, don't get me wrong, Cruise Radio is actually not on the radio. It's part of this new internet phenomenon that's taking off, and you actually find it on the internet.
Right, and actually we started out on the radio. We were on FM radio in Jacksonville at 94.1, and we did it for a 6-month run there. But I found I was getting no interaction from the local folks in Jacksonville, but my listeners kept growing and growing and growing online. So I'm like, well, let's just pull the plug on the FM and focus 100% on online radio, and that's what we've done, and we've taken it from 0 to 41,000 since then. Okay,
now we were talking a little bit earlier about the fact that you don't have to actually tune in. The show is on Sunday mornings?
Sometimes Sunday when I get it up.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. And the idea is it's not like a radio show where you actually have to be on at the time that it airs. Because it's the internet, you can go on at whatever time you want to listen. How does somebody find it, say, on Monday night?
Yeah, that's the beauty of a podcast. You can actually go to, you can listen to it on demand whenever you want to. So if you want to go to cruiseradio.net, I have a player right there on my front page. You can scroll through my whole archives of shows, which I have 53 now. Or you can go to like iTunes, search Cruise Radio, Microsoft Zoom, you can search Cruise Radio on there. Or just type in Cruise Radio on Google and you'll find all my places I'm syndicated on. Okay.
Doug is also a big part of this new phenomenon of social media marketing. And among the things that you can find Doug on is not only Cruise Radio, but you can find extra tips on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, Facebook.com/Cruise Radio. Also Twitter, my Twitter handle is Cruise Radio as well.
Okay, so it's easy to find. Just look for Cruise Radio and you're going to find Doug. The ideas, the plans that you're going to do in the future with Cruise Radio, what are you hoping to do with it?
Oh wow, a lot. I hope to syndicate it more. Right now I'm syndicated on a travel forum called cruiseaddicts.com. So when you go to their front page of Cruise Addicts, my player's right there so it hits you in the face. But I want to get more of that. Hopefully some of the big time players will pick up on it. Some of the cruise lines, would be cool to see them pick up on it as well. I'd like to do satellite radio too, where folks can hear it wherever they want to, get on the Armed Forces Network and stuff like that. So I have a lot of irons in the fire and slowly trying to strike each one.
Excellent. All right, we have to ask the most important question of the day. What is your #1 cruise tip?
#1 cruise tip is don't try to sneak alcohol on the ship because they will find it. Been there, done that a week ago.
Well, you know what? That makes me think of one other question. You and I have talked about it. Cruising used to be for an older crowd. A lot more families, a lot more young people are getting involved. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, cruising used to be, heck, back to the Titanic days when you had to, spend $5,000 to come across, and now you can get a cruise for $149 for a 5-day, $399 for a 7 to 10-day cruise. So there's a lot more entertainment out there right now. The food's better, activities on board the ship. The ship I was on last week, Royal Caribbean's Monarch of the Seas, if you added up all the entertainment on the ship, it's over 40 hours a day of entertainment. So cruising has definitely changed and done the 180 since folks used to sail.
Okay, well, Cruise Radio, it's going to get you all the tips, not only from Doug, who's a big-time cruiser, but also all the experts in the industry and the cruise lines themselves. So tune in, Cruise Radio, Twitter, Facebook, or right there on the internet. Get all the inside. Doug Parker, Cruise Radio. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.